Inside Indiana Softball. I'm Will Chukerman, and as always, joined by head coach Michelle Gardner. How's it going, Coach?
It's going well.
And so let's get talking to past weekend. And when you look at the record, disappointing a little bit, but there were some bright spots, and most importantly, it was Laura Olson in the circle. She had a really good weekend. She hadn't had any appearances go more than 3 innings before this weekend, and then she has won 5 innings, 6 innings, and 7 innings. She shuts down a Florida team to their lowest hit total of the season. What was working so well for her?
Well, I think her off speed, we were able to set that up, and she was throwing good pitches on corners, which I just think her confidence level kind of went up. The Florida game, to me, really stands out because I thought Laura threw extremely well, 4 hits against a very potent offense. And the truth of the matter is I just felt like she was confident, and she was getting us ground ball outs when we needed them, and the team played well behind her. And so I think whenever a pitcher has that confidence in the circle, and we had some things go our way, and so I felt like she just really came on and was battling.
And do you feel like that Florida game kind of set the tempo for her weekend, and the fact that she, in her head, knew that she just shut down one of the top offensive teams in the country, it was able to then transition to the opponents the rest of the weekend?
Absolutely. I think anytime you see success like that, and really things are moving, and her off speed was phenomenal. I mean, to me that was a really good pitch for her this weekend. Not that she wasn't able to use like all of her pitches, because she really did, but we were able to set it up, and I think that to me was really the difference in Laura from her previous outings, just in the simple fact that she made good adjustments when she needed to, and so, wasn't getting behind in the count. She was getting ahead early, which to me as a pitcher is one of the most important things. You get ahead early in the count, and now you have them guessing, and I think that was one of her strengths this weekend, is she was able to get ahead of the count and then able to use her pitches.
And you talked about her making adjustments, and she had to in that Troy game. She got into 2 jams early on in the game. Ultimately, the third one they scored on a single that ended up bouncing off second base.
Right.
But she had to make those adjustments in that Troy game, kind of bounce back, regain her focus, and she did a great job both times.
Time and time again. I felt very comfortable with the fact that she was able to, we had runners in scoring position. She got us that little ground out that we needed, or pop up, and the unfortunate thing about the base hit was if it goes straight up the middle, they don't score 2 runs, they score 1 run. But it hit second base and ricochets, which threw everything off. And of course they were going. I mean, they had 2 outs, so it was unfortunate, but I still felt like she really had control of that game. And we don't end in a tie, and I think our chances were pretty good because we just kept battling.
And then another bright spot in that game was how well Natalie played, both batting and fielding. She turned a big double play in right field, making a jumping catch. She also goes 4 for 4, clearly her career high. What was also working for her so well in that last game?
Well, Natalie went down with an ACL last year. She's been back. She had to have another little surgery before season. So I think kind of set her back a little bit. So she's just now becoming an everyday player because she's just getting comfortable and confident, and I think Natalie went out there with something to prove, and sometimes that's that's a great thing. And Natalie's a competitor. Natalie likes to compete. Natalie likes to work. I mean, she works hard. She does the things that she needs to do, and obviously it showed up.
And that was the second double play that you guys had turned in kind of unconventional double plays.
Yeah.
You had one where Karamia throws onto second base, catches the runner, napping at second, and then you have that one in right field. That has to speak to you as a coach, knowing that your team is defensively ready and they have the mindset that they're capable of making those plays, even when they're not kind of drawn up, I should say.
Well, and I think that's them being into the game and paying attention, because I think sometimes, well, Karamia's play, for instance, that's like a backdoor play, and she made the throw and we got the out, whereas she could have held the ball and we'd had 1 out with a runner at second. I mean, just little things like that. But defensively, we're getting better every week. I really feel like we're making some strides in that area, because when we have to continue to come and be inside in between our breaks, it's kind of tough because you're out on the field playing and then you're back inside on the turf. And the turf plays completely different than what the dirt plays. So now we're going back and forth, which can be a struggle. But I felt like I thought with Laura's throwing, we got a lot of ground balls and had a lot of assists. Laura did a great job, but defensively we made some really good plays. So, and the play Natalie made was amazing. So I just think that part of the game had to come together. It came together. Our pitching was better. It had to be better. And we still have things we need to work on and get better at in both of those areas. And hitting, it's coming. It's just coming.
And we've been talking about this Troy game. The funny thing is that game started at 8 in the morning. Have you ever had a game that you've coached or played in that you've kind of had those unforeseen circumstances due to weather or whatever it is, that you have to start early or you have to postpone it and then take it on the next day? Because it was strange starting that early in the morning.
Well, and we don't normally start that early in the morning, but we had a flight that we had to catch, and really they were trying to, we were trying to get ball games in. It's unfortunate that then the weather came in and was horrible, but it's adversity, and you have to adjust. And I thought we made great adjustments coming out that early in the morning. And nobody wants to be at the ballpark at 7 o'clock warming up, but it's part of what we do.
And you've talked about how well the team's fought through different circumstances throughout this season, and that's one of them, waking up that early and having to wipe away the tired eyes and get out there and play one of the better games that they played all weekend.
Well, I felt like that game was really good. The first Florida game was really good. And on Saturday, Florida came out with their loaded with their guns, and while I still feel like we needed to make some adjustments and do some things, all in all, you lose 2 games to Florida. That doesn't. I mean, yes, would I like to come out with a win on Friday? Absolutely, but then we play a Georgia Southern team who made it to the tournament last year. They're tough, and Troy State. I mean, our schedule doesn't get any easier. Correct. Everybody is tough, and everybody can win a ball game. So now it's just a matter of keeping things together and continuing to push forward, because I've said it before, this is a great group of kids and they are going to battle and we're going to see successes, and that's what we're working towards. And we can't do anything about yesterday. Let's just move on to the next tournament.
And mentioning the schedule, now transitioning to your weekend in Tucson, you're again going to face a big-time talented team in Arizona. You're also going to face 3 other teams. What do you have to do this weekend to come out with 3 wins, 4 wins?
Well, I think first of all we have to come out with confidence and hopefully carry over some of what was going on against Troy State, because I think the whole dimensions of that were amazing. We've got to come out and compete, and we have to continue to build on the things that we're doing right and limit our mistakes. And I think, as a pitching staff, we're still getting better in the circle, which is what we needed to have happen. And we're going to put up some more runs this weekend. So I think for me the most important part is that we take it 1 game at a time, because we don't play Arizona until Sunday. So we can't be worried about Arizona. We got to play UT Arlington. We got to play Valpo and Longwood. So we really have to take care of those teams when we play them, and then move on to the next team, because we can't be worried about Arizona when we're playing
3 other teams.
Yes.
Coach, thank you very much for this week.
Thanks.
And that was This Week in Inside Indiana Softball. For Coach Gardner, I'm Will Chukerman signing off.